Joining me now is Kim Davis's attorney, Matthew Staver. Mr. Staver, thanks so much for joining us. Why do you think the Vatican is refusing to discuss the details of the meeting or even release photographs of it?
Well, I'll defer to the Vatican on that, but I do know Pope Francis was very kind and generous to spend time with Kim Davis and her husband, Joe, last Thursday afternoon at the Vatican Embassy in Washington, D.C. And at that meeting, which was a private meeting, it wasn't a group meeting, it was just between him and Kim and Joe Davis. He did hug her, as Kim Davis said. He did encourage her for standing. He said that his words were, "Stay strong." And the meeting was conducted in English from beginning to end. Kim Davis was incredibly amazed that a man such of his stature was so humble and caring and kind. And it's a moment that she'll cherish for the rest of her life.
Who at the Vatican arranged the meeting? How did it come about?
Well, I won't go into details in terms of how it came about. There's a lot of speculation as to how it came about and how did she get in and out without being seen by the media that was surrounding the Vatican Embassy. I will say that the bigger issue is not how it happened, is that it did happen. And as you just reported, on the papal plane back, one of the questions was by a reporter, and I've learned from those that were on the plane that those were group questions that they all agreed upon. And one of those questions was about issuing marriage licenses and whether you would have a conscientious objection, to which he said it is a human right. And when pressed by a follow-up, even if it applies to a government official, and he said yes, a government official being a person, it is a human right. And I think that theme that he echoed there is a theme he has echoed throughout his papacy and throughout his life, that this universal human right of religious freedom ought to be respected. And I think because of that, you have an individual who was jailed because of her faith, and Pope Francis, being the kind of individual he is and the pontiff he's been, to reach down even to the least of these, or reach down to have this meeting with Kim Davis to encourage her and to say, "Stay strong." He also gave her 2 rosaries, a black one and a red one. Kim Davis's parents, her mom and dad, are lifelong Catholics, and so she was able to present her mom and dad with these gifts from the pontiff. And her dad said, if he lives to be 200 years, this will be the most cherished, important gift he's ever received in his life.
Well, it's no secret that Pope Francis supports religious liberty. He said so at the White House. He met with the Little Sisters of the Poor. It doesn't surprise me at all that he met with your client. I don't know that you can credibly say that she was jailed because of her faith. She was jailed because she refused to carry out the services of her job. But nonetheless, we appreciate it. We hope you'll send the photographs of the meeting when you get a chance.
We will soon do that as soon as we get them.
Great. Thank you so much, Matthew Staver. Must have been an incredible event. Appreciate it.